Welcome, foolish mortals.
Time to be turning around. If only you could.
'Cause this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness!
Hey, Henry, what's holding you up? Let's get on with the show. We can't hang around here all day.
Ladies and gents, this is the moment you've waited for.
There's no turning back now.
This is the greatest show!
It's coming on the burning lights. With the runaways are running tonight. Impossible comes true. It's taking over you. This is the greatest show.
Now it's time for the WDW Beyond the Gates podcast with your hosts, Michael Hurley and Gary Aruda.
This is the greatest show.
That's right. This is the WDW Beyond the Gates podcast, episode number 548, recorded from the D. Fauntleroy Studios in Kent County, Rhode Island, and sunny Southwest Florida. I'm your host, Gary, joined as always by my co-host and my cousin, Mike, down in Florida. How you doing today, Michael?
Excellent.
What's new in your neck of the woods?
Not much.
No.
No.
How'd the golf course make out with the storm?
You know what's interesting? It's a little brown over where we got flooded. So the salt water kind of killed off some of the grass.
That'll happen. Yeah, that makes sense.
Creek in front of number 8 overran, and in front of the green it's a little yellow, but Carlisle did a great job cleaning. There's still a little bit of debris. There's some stuff in the bunkers, but yeah, it's in great shape.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
Because all the, there's
Try to
not
get-
a ton of trees, but it's got all the, the little, that wisp, what is that, Spanish moss that's everywhere?
Mhm.
That goes all over the place.
That's a mess, yeah.
Did you play there this weekend?
Yeah, I played Saturday. Yesterday
Yeah.
we got rained out. We got a storm, but it's too bad I'm playing the best golf I've played in about 20 years, parts.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You figure something out, or is it just dumb luck?
I don't know, but I played
Okay.
I played the last 5 holes at 1 over when I played with the boys on Wednesday.
Okay.
And then I didn't make a double bogey on the front side on Saturday.
That's good playing.
I had to make 15 quota points. I made 10 through 8 holes.
Wow.
Shot a 43 on the front. I'm not flubbing shots. I had to chip the ball over the bunker on number 6. There
No
was
problem.
nothing I could do there. I could not putt it. There was no way I could. It's like a presidential election. I just did not have a path to get there.
Yeah.
And I took the 60 and I closed the eyes, broke out the rosary beads, said, please don't leave it in the bunker, put it into the guy's living room over 6 green. And I just clipped it and it checked up and I had about a 10-footer for par. Missed the par
Nice.
putt, but if you tell me in front of that bunker you're going to get up and down, I'm taking it all day long.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you're not making doubles, that's all that matters.
It's huge. I've played my last 13 holes? I played my last 13 holes at +7.
That's pretty good playing parts.
That's decent playing. That's where you
Take
enjoy
that.
it. That's when you enjoy it.
I would get frustrated if I made bogey every hole, but I would take no doubles. I would sign up for that.
Yes.
No problem at all.
Because if you make no doubles, again, we try to just play bogey golf. We're going to make 3 pars on a terrible day and 6 to 7 on a good day. So you're looking at 82, 83 on a good day to 87, 88 on a bad day, which is what we'll take that all day.
Yeah, I mean, if you do that, you're an 11 handicap.
Yeah, you're 10 or 11, and then you just
Probably
work
even
on it
lower.
from there, right?
Because that's basically what your cousin is, right?
Yeah, Kurt's about 83.
Right, and he's like
80, 82 to 88. Yeah, and he got down to an 8 or 9, so he
that's what I
hovered
mean.
around
Yeah,
10. Yeah, you're right.
at that place, that's good scoring. But yeah, if you don't make doubles, but you know how you and I are. If
Yeah.
you go out and you make 18 bogeys, you're just gonna be mad.
I I'm always right on number 5. Always right by that creek. Have you ever seen the creek on the right of number 6?
Number 6.
Or number 5, there's like a little creek on the
Okay.
right side of the fairway. I always just fade it right.
Okay.
And I got 190 in, so I hit a right to left, and I'm over by that water, and I'm thinking of you. And I actually hit a golf shot, and Captain Neil did the whistle and with the 5 claps. He can do the
Oh, really?
I got the golf clap. I'm like, oh, and I grabbed my rangefinder. Ooh, that's pretty damn close. And I'm thinking about you when you were, you're like, that's a good drive, isn't it? I'm like, oh, parts. Hit your second shot for crying out loud.
I did.
That's well, you hit it a couple times.
Yeah, that's true.
That was silent. I turned it off. Hang on a second.
Okay. Anyway, should we get into it?
Yeah.
We're speaking of we talked about it a little bit. Obviously the big storm came through, and anytime that happens, they canceled the Halloween party. They did some things at Disney in preparation for the storm. But there's been times when there's been storms in the direct path of Disney, and it gets you thinking about what if you're stuck in a hotel for whatever 18, 24 hours because the storm's coming through. What are the best places to be stuck at Walt Disney World? And you wanted to say like non-DVC resorts, correct?
Non-DVC, because I want to use this for our Addicted to DVC podcast, and we can just talk about DVC specific properties
Okay.
that we'd like to be stranded on. That'll be on next week's show, Addicted to DVC podcast. Find it wherever you listen to your podcast. But this has always been a bucket list for me. A lot of people want to go for Christmas and Thanksgiving, which is very high on my list.
Yeah, makes sense.
I
Sure.
want to stay during a hurricane. Is that weird?
A little bit. There's a lot of people like that.
Just weather nerds?
I think there's a lot of locals that will go because you're not going to lose power. So if they think they're going to lose power at their house, wouldn't you rather be at Disney and not lose power?
Yeah.
Kind of makes sense to me. So what were your criteria? What did you think of as like a good reason to want to be there during a hurricane?
Just kind of views, access.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I was thinking. What about you?
I was more thinking about like if it's real bad, you don't want to be stranded away from the amenities of the resort,
That's correct.
the important amenities. So that was a high on my list, and there were a couple other things as well, but that was pretty high up there. Because when it's gotten bad, you're not supposed to leave your room, right? Or the building you're in, I should say.
Yeah, I believe so. Yes.
Like you're not supposed to go outside at all. So staying at certain places where you have to go outside is probably not the best. Could still be on the list, but not the best way to do it.
Sure.
Why don't you start us off? Give us your number 5 or one of the ones that you picked.
One of the ones that I picked was a beach club.
Okay.
Just a lot of space to walk around in.
That's true. The interior hallways there.
Yes.
You can get lost, and you can even walk all the way over to Yacht Club pretty much without having to go outside.
Yeah, you do. The problem is, though, you do by the Hurricane, or not Hurricane Hannah's, but
Stormalong Bay.
Stormalong Bay.
But I think it's covered. But I guess if it was on complete lockdown, they probably wouldn't even let you go out that way. Yeah, I was thinking beach club. Because the cash part is even easier because you're not separated at all.
Yeah, exactly.
So I didn't pick beach club because I was thinking when you said cash days, I picked Yacht Club basically for the same reason.
Okay.
And it's it's
Yeah.
different, but I
Yeah.
think of them as the same resort.
Hey, you want to say yacht and beach? That's fine.
But I was thinking Yacht Club as one of mine for sure for most of the same reasons because you can, if you're in one of the rooms, there's a lot of space to move around. You get to the lobby,
I do
couple
have that on
restaurants
my
with
list
access.
too.
You do?
Yeah, so we
You
could
get
just
both.
combine them both because the reason that was a little higher on my list
Mm-hmm.
is I think the restaurants are better
Okay.
by far, and I do like their lounge. I like the cruise cup. I think their food offerings
That's
are
actually a
better.
good point because you cannot at Beach Club, you cannot get to Beaches and Cream without going outside.
That's true.
So that would be potentially closed if it's a real bad storm.
Yeah, and you're just basically Cape May Cafe and Martha's Vineyard Lounge.
I don't think you get to Martha's Vineyard. Oh no, that's before. You're right. Never mind.
Yeah, because that's right next to the
Yeah, Cape May.
because they make the cocktails for Cape May.
That's right. Yeah, and then the little quick serve, which is not great
Right.
at Beach Club. I like the lobby a little bit better at Beach Club, like if you're gonna hang out.
And I like the yacht club a little better.
But I think, yeah, as far as the amenities go, Ale and Compass and then Yachtsman.
And the
definitely
other
a
reason
good-
I like yacht club a tad bit better than beach club is you're gonna have some nice views.
Okay.
So if you're like if you have a balcony that's facing the Epcot boardwalk area, you could sit out there, brave the
That's true.
storm, and just hang out and have a cocktail. And
Yeah, that's a good point. Over the
because I think you get a little better views over at yacht club than you do at beach club.
well, they don't have balconies at Beach Club on the
They
cash
do,
side.
but they're limited.
Well, not every room has one.
Right, not every room. Right, yeah.
Well, I guess we could stick around in the same area because I was going to talk about the next one on my list is Swan and Dolphin.
Yeah.
I like the idea of a tower. I'm just lumping them together again.
Yeah.
There's no, and I know they're different. Like I would probably say Dolphin if I had to pick. I think there's more of the restaurants I like at Dolphin.
You're exactly right. Yeah.
But I like the idea of a tower because you're all contained. The whole resort is contained and at your fingertips in a tower. You don't have to worry about going outside. And everything is right there for you. You have, Shula's, obviously, Finn's.
Finn's is a great lounge. Absolutely. I love the quick service up there right next
Yep.
to Finn's.
I
Blue
forget what that's
Blue
called.
is
Yeah. So that would be of Swan and Dolphin. I would pick Dolphin, but either of those would be good places because they're contained and there's a lot.
Dolphin can take like a Cat 10. Like if you're terrified of hurricanes, that place is bulletproof.
Yeah.
That's not going anywhere. I mean, and that's a place when you're in the lobby, you're not going to hear a damn thing because you are so isolated.
Yeah, they look like they're made to withstand, like just the shape of the building and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It might not be, like you said, but it looks like it. It definitely looks like it. So yeah, I mean, and that's a place I've never stayed. I know you've stayed there and you like it a lot.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite resorts, but hands down. Because the rooms are amazing, comfortable beds.
Yeah, you've always
and
said
probably the best food and beverage on
really
Disney property.
really good food and beverage. Is there other stuff like what besides food and drink? Is there anything else to do in the resorts there, like within the resort itself?
I mean, the gift shops are lame.
Right.
No, not a ton. I mean, there's not a downstairs, has the fountain, which is similar to Beaches and Cream.
Right.
They've got a good game room,
Okay.
but there's just not a ton of walking like there is over at the Yacht and Beach Club.
Yeah, I like that. All right, what else is on your list, Michael?
I have the Destino Tower
Interesting.
over at Coronado Springs, and I like, again, they've got that restaurant that I'm dying to try.
Toledo.
Toledo, the little tapas upstairs. They've got a great bar upstairs. The other thing is that they are connected to the main building.
Okay.
So you could go walk over to the main building and go check out Panchitos, the gift shop over at Coronado Springs, Maya Grill. You've got a bunch of great restaurant options over,
See,
over at the original building.
I specifically didn't pick Coronado because it's so spread out and you don't get presumably you wouldn't have access to most of the resort because of how
But
spread
if you're
out it
staying
is.
at the tower,
Right, there's enough there. I'm just telling you why it didn't make my list. I'm
Okay.
not necessarily disagreeing, but and also the Three Bridges obviously would be closed during a
Sure.
storm. And I didn't even realize it was connected to the main building, so that was another reason I was gonna say, because then you're kind of just stuck in the tower with just the one option there. Because
so do
there's
you
no
remember
quick serve
when you walk in, because you honeymoon there, when you walk in from the bus stop
Mm-hmm.
and then over to the right is where you check in?
Yeah.
So they took all that away because now all the check-in is at the Grand Destino, but they have a long corridor and it
It's
connects the
enclosed,
two
yeah.
buildings now. So
Is it enclosed or is it
no, it is enclosed. Yes.
completely enclosed? Okay. I didn't know if it was the corridor from the DVC building at
Beach Club or
Beach
Grand
Club
Floridian or
or
you name it.
Wilderness Lodge, any of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Grand Destino. So I didn't pick any moderates.
Well, you're
For
a
that
DVC
reason.
guy. You're a deluxe guy now. You might even be more snobby than I am.
I'm not, but I'm trying to be practical because if I'm staying at French Quarter
Understand.
and you get told to stay
French
in your
Quarter.
room,
Yeah.
you're in your room. You can't even go to the lobby, which I love the lobby there. I love French Quarter. It's one of my favorite places. I like it better than Riverside. I like French Quarter. I think that's my favorite moderate. But if you're in the room and they say don't leave the building you're in, well, guess what? You're stuck in a
You are.
280 square foot room until the hurricane's done. I mean, we're talking about grand lobbies and where we want to be. I'll pay cash and stay at Jumbo House. There's just so much to do. It's a huge building.
Yes.
Hang out. You have those, like you said, the views. I don't know if it's raining. Obviously, the animals aren't going to be out and things like that. They'll protect them in a hurricane. But just looking out over the savannah and seeing the storm roll in from those giant windows. But then you have Jico, you have the Mara, you have Boma, you have Victoria Falls, you have the activity center, you have maybe the best gift shop in any Disney resort.
Yeah.
Jumbo House. That's kind of a no-brainer.
That was my number 2.
Okay.
That was my number 2, just because I love Victoria Falls. I love the restaurants. I love just being able to walk and walk and walk. Because you're going to get a little antsy at times.
Yes, absolutely.
So you could go for a good 2-mile walk and
in one hall.
just put the earbuds in and listen to a podcast, your favorite podcast, or listen to some music. But you can just completely get lost. Go to the library, rocking chairs all over the place. It's a great resort to be stuck in, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, I know Kidani's the DVC side, so that wouldn't qualify anyway, but I would pick Jumbo just because you have the quick serve and it's a little bit, the lobby's
No
bigger,
doubt about it.
more grand. Yeah, I would absolutely pick that over it anyway. What else do you have, Mike? I think we have a lot of
overlapping.
thinking similarly. Yeah, but that's okay.
A lot of overlapping. So, I mean, this is number 1, hands down, not even freaking close.
Okay.
And it's a place that I hate.
Oh, okay.
If that makes any sense.
I want to hear it.
It's a contemporary resort.
Okay. Interesting. The A-frame.
I want to get stranded at this place so bad.
There's a lot to do there.
Place to quarantine. This is a place during COVID that I could have spent 8 months.
Yeah.
There are so many places to get lost. I mean, you got the Grand Canyon Concourse, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the first floor where you have Steakhouse 71. You've got the coffee shop. You can go out those front doors and kind of peek around because you've got the overhang and you're being protected from the wind. You can kind of check it out. Oh, is it bad out? What's going on? Oh, yeah, I got to go back inside. Then you can go up to the convention area where yours truly, Angry New Phil Jr. and Joe Quat did our DVC meeting.
Right, and there's a lot of places to get lost.
And there's a ton of places. There is nobody there. You can grab a cup of coffee.
Right.
Sit on the couch and read a book or read a magazine or what have you. Go up to Cali Grill. You'll be, 15th floor overlooking to see what's going on with the hurricane. It's just, there's just so many areas. There's just so much to explore at that resort. I love that place. And it's just too bad what they did to it.
Yeah, could you be quarantined in that room?
Oh,
with the
no.
Incredibles there? That would be a problem.
That would be a problem.
That's not great.
Oh.
I'm just gonna go back to.
It may change my mind now. You had to bring up the Incredibles, didn't you?
Well, you have to be in the room at some point.
I do. It's just like I said, like it's one of my least favorite resorts, and it's still one of my favorite resorts. Like, how is that even possible?
I can't wait to see what they do when they refurb Bay Lake Tower.
I can't wait to see that refurb.
I hope they don't mess it up. But I would say the number one for me that I would pick, and it's along the same vein as Animal Kingdom Lodge, is going to be the Wilderness Lodge.
Yeah, see, I was kicking that back and forth.
Because then you have the gorgeous lobby. You can stay in that main building. You have access to, again, another great gift shop, another great bar. You have Roaring Fork, you have Whispering Canyon, you have Artist Point. Tons of spots to sit around. Not as many places to get lost because you just got to go up. It's not as spread out as some of the others.
Yeah, you really can't get lost at Wilderness Lodge, right?
But it's just gorgeous in there. Like it's grand enough in those two, which I love, Animal Kingdom and Wilderness Lodge, that you can just kind of hang. Like I could see myself just being up on like the second or third floor above the main lobby and just like looking out over and watching people down below mulling about and things like that. Or,
or if you had a club level up there and you could sit.
That'd be even better. Yeah.
Wouldn't it? You're definitely playing that upgrade during a hurricane.
That's a good point. Yeah. And then the Territory Lounge is great. A lot of good places to hang out there. And you can kind of see out over, I imagine it's not going to be very clear, but there's good views out towards Bay Lake. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So that's definitely high up there. I think the food options are as good as anywhere in just that building without having to go outside as anywhere else. One of the places I thought of, but it just wasn't practical because of how the resort's laid out. I wouldn't mind being stranded, and you're not gonna kill me for this because I think you're gonna agree. I wouldn't mind being stranded in the Pop Century lobby for like 6 hours. Because there's enough, like the gift shop, the food court, people watching, the arcades there. Like, not during a hurricane where it's going to be 24 or 48 hours or whatever, but like that's not the worst place for me.
No, it's probably my favorite value lobby.
I was gonna say, if I was gonna get stuck in a lobby at a value, I would pick Pop Century.
It's just perfectly themed. It's just unique.
Yes.
I mean, the All Stars is it's almost modern day Disney. It's so lazy. Where Pop was just it's just so perfectly themed.
And Art of Animation's good too. I just like
Art
Pop
of Animation better. Yeah, but I'm with you. Because it's got a lot of the 80s, 70s, and 80s stuff.
Yes,
Michael Jackson. A lot of nostalgia with stuff that I grew up. I love that gift shop.
And
I love their food court.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. So I wouldn't mind being stuck there, but if you're stuck in the 50s building during a hurricane and you can't get over to the lobby, then you're going to be like, you might as well be in jail at that point.
You're stuck. You don't even have a balcony that you can sit out on.
That's what I mean. So That's why none of the values or the moderates made it. I just couldn't put them on the list for that reason. I would like to. Like, I wouldn't mind if you told me I couldn't leave the resort, but you could go outside. Then, yeah, I think like Port Orleans French Quarter would have easily made the list. I think even Caribbean Beach, like that's a cool resort to explore.
You know what else would be fun is the one that you said you like French Quarter better. But how good would Riverside and listen to Yee Bob?
No, that's true.
That place is banging with people just sitting on chandeliers
And
at
just
that
drinking.
point.
Yeah, that's true. Riding out the storm that way. But I'm surprised, I guess, because it's DVC only, right? Riviera is considered DVC only.
Yes.
That didn't make your list, yeah.
Yes, you're gonna have to tune in next week to the Addicted to DVC podcast.
And Grand Floridian didn't make your list either.
Only because here's the reason why. The majority of that resort are the outer buildings.
Yeah,
Now,
you
I
might.
cheated and said, okay, we're gonna stay in the main building.
Right.
But most of 90% of that resort is the
Not
outer
as much, and not as much to explore in that main building. Like the lobby's obviously great, but like there's not a lot of places to walk around in that lobby.
And plus, the lobby's not going to be banging because they're not going to have the pianists come in.
Probably not. Yeah.
Because, you know, you're not going to come in to work for 3 hours. We're not sending you home. We're not going to put you up. We're not, stay with your family. So you're not going to have any entertainment in that lobby.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is what makes that lobby so great.
Yeah, that's very true. That's a good point. And the hustle and bustle in there is also what makes it good. There's good restaurants though.
Oh, they've got great restaurants, don't they?
Narcoossee's is out though.
Mm-hmm.
But you have Citricos, and you have the cafe, and you have 1900. But Gasparilla is out, right? Because you have to go outside.
Gasparilla's out, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a mix. Not a great bar, in my opinion.
I would agree with you. Yeah, I would agree with you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it didn't make my list. I was just a little more surprised that it didn't make yours, based on what we know of you. But regardless,
You telling me I'm a Grand Floridian homer?
a little bit, but that's okay.
That's fair.
I mean, it's what it is.
I mean, we're all homers now at our home resorts, are we not?
Yeah, I mean, I had never even been to Saratoga Springs, and now I have I feel connected.
That was actually a sight unseen?
Yeah, I'd never been there.
Because you always see this on Facebook. These people buying at places that they've never been to.
I never stayed there. 100% never stayed there. I don't know that I've ever even stepped foot on there until I was there. But now I'm protective of it. Like when people say Old Key West is better, I get mad.
I'll never understand that one.
Everyone's different parts.
I know. I just don't get that.
I don't either, but I mean, it doesn't really bother me, but I will stick up for my Saratoga.
Here's the thing. You've got the cultish people for every resort. Every resort, they're cultish. Then you have outsiders like me who are looking at a Saratoga versus an Old Key West.
Yeah.
And it's a no-brainer.
You know what, though? I could see, if you bought in 94.
That's what I'm saying. If you are the original, the OG hardcore Old Key West. But I'm saying if you're an angry new Phil Jr. and you're going to spend 9 points at one resort, he's picking Saratoga Springs.
That's true. Although you stayed at Old Key West 5 times last year.
That's true. He did.
So who knows? You do get a lot of space, especially when you get outside of the studios.
One of the best one bedrooms around.
Yeah. But anyway, do you have anything else? You have any honorable mentions or ones that you didn't pick for a particular reason?
I did not have.
Obviously, Poly. Neither of us picked the Poly.
No, because there's just the problem is that they don't have any rooms in the main building.
Too much of it is outside. Yeah,
it's all outside. Wilderness Lodge was okay. I don't think I had that on my list.
And you didn't have Animal Kingdom either.
Yeah, I did. I had Jambo House.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Obviously, the boardwalk isn't going to work because everything's on the boardwalk.
Right. You got to go outside for everything.
Got to
That's
go
true.
outside for everything. I think Swalfin was a great pick.
Yeah, that's not bad.
And it's just hard with the, Caribbean Beach would be a great one if there was anything connected, but everything is outside.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I guess if you're going to go, in conclusion, if you're going to be there during a hurricane, pony up the cash and stay somewhere good. Otherwise, you're probably not going to have a great time.
Because wasn't Mike Schaefer the one who was staying at the cabins?
Yeah, he was at
And
the fort.
He was at Fort Wilderness, and they had to relocate him over to Beach Club, I believe.
Yes, that's
Right?
correct. Yep.
Because, like Kristen said, she thought the cabins would be one of the best places to stay. I said, but they evacuate them
Yeah, they do. They don't let you stay there
because they can get blown around, and plus you've got just trees all over the place.
You got people in tents there. That's not going to work.
Could fall on you. Because I think that would be, if there was no chance of anything happening, that would be a fun place to ride one out.
I guess, but you can't like go around the resort. You'd be just in the cabin.
Yeah, you'd be in the cabin.
I don't know. I feel like I'd go stir crazy a little bit if I was just stuck in like inside four walls that I couldn't explore. Can't open a door. But either way, I don't know. I don't have anything else really to add here.
Right.
So I guess we'll just wrap things up. How's the what's going on with the YouTube channel? YouTube.com/@WDWBTG. What do we have coming up over there?
I have not put anything up there in a while, have I?
I haven't gotten any notifications. That's true.
You do hit the notification bell?
I get notifications, but I haven't gotten one now that you mention it.
Yeah, I haven't
You've been concentrating on the DVC stuff.
Yeah, that's the problem. I got to get some stuff out there.
Because you have some good stuff in the hopper.
I have a ton of content.
Got to get that out there. So go to youtube.com/@WDWBTG. Subscribe over there. Follow us on all of our socials @WDWBTG. That would be Instagram. That would be Facebook. That would be Twitter. That would be TikTok. Our Facebook group is WDW Beyond the Gates Podcast Family. Join us over there. Our website, WDWBTG.com. Subscribe wherever you download podcasts. You can email us, info@WDWBTG.com, Mike@WDWBTG.com, and Gary@WDWBTG.com. Is there anything else you would like me to mention here, sir?
No, that's it. You could bring us home.
All right, that's going to do it for episode number 548 of the WDW Beyond the Gates podcast. For my co-host, Mike, my name is Gary. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Now it's time to say goodbye to all our company. M-I-C.
See you real soon.
K-E-Y.
Why? Because we like you.
M-O-U.